Talk.
Now go.
All meetings are recorded, audio and video per Indiana Code IC 514 1.5-2.9. This meeting is called to order. I'd like to make a motion to approve minutes for March 16th, 2022.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We have guests tonight. Ben, you want to start?
Depends, mine might be longer. You might, if you want.
Doesn't matter, we're here.
All right.
Bill's all done.
Yep, so I, Ben Ferlani for the document there. So I provided you guys, there's a handful of documents. The first one is your guys' town ordinance on reserve deputies. I understand that is not the current, as that's only a thing available online. The current one has, I think you guys have up to 15 reserves. That was approved, but that is not available to the general public without coming to the clerk's office and requesting a copy of whatever's here. But the online version has that. So the main points are is 24 hours is required by the ordinance and for all reserves, unless otherwise stated by approved by the town marshal, as it says. So I requested after our last meeting that, when I asked about the hours and stuff the reserves are making, Brian said all the reserves are getting their hours. They wouldn't be here if they weren't. So I'm curious, and so I made a public records request for the hours from October to February, and found that that's not true. The reserves are regularly not making their hours. Now, with the understanding that I'm sure you'll come back and say, well, they're not required to get 24 hours. If the number of reserves that are regularly not meeting 24 hours are not required, then I think the ordinance needs to be changed, because it should be the exception, not the rule. And the main reason I'm concerned about this is because it's our money, the taxpayers of Shirley, that pay for the insurance that we are required to carry for vehicles that reserves drive, the insurance for them if they get hurt on, God forbid anything happens to any of them on duty, workman's comp and various things that the people of Shirley are responsible for once that occurs. Again, as I stated at the last meeting, I have a passion for law enforcement. I myself am a reserve deputy, and I take this very seriously. And I don't think any of these officers are not well trained. I mean, I think they're all, Mr. Humphreys is a great officer. I know, Beatrice, he's tier 1, or I think tier 1, tier 2, but I've worked with him before. I've been on calls with him before. He's great guys all around. My problem lies in, we pay for them to have access, and I believe we buy firearms for all of the deputies and things. And there's 2 reserves that stand out, Mr. Hewlett and I believe Guzman are the ones that stand out the most. They typically carry for everybody else based on my findings. So I have them in order from month to month based on, this is all documents that Brian gave me. I did a little bit of math on each of these pages. So for October, 6 out of 10 reserves did not meet the required 24 hours. Those are highlighted. And again, we all have lives and we do this for free, right? But at the same time, I think that if we don't have consistent coverage and things, that it doesn't make sense for those people to be reserves. Maybe we need to fill spots with people that are going to consistently meet their hours and things. So, Mr. Anderson had, maybe that's Spears. Spears had work conflicts. That happens. I understand that. So for this month, we were missing 21 and a half hours. So 6 out of 10 reserves didn't meet their requirement. So the month of November, 8 out of 9 reserves did not meet their requirement for the 24 hours. And again, I cut it down. We technically have 10 reserves, but with the understanding that, the deputy dep didn't have the ability because of the broken bones. Totally get that. That's totally fine. So I did just the math at 9, should be 216 hours of total reserve hours. And that comes out to the total reserve hours is 67 with, and I don't know how, I don't know where Brian went. Well, I don't know if you included training hours in the total hours or if those are separate. So I added them together to get the benefit of the doubt. So that comes out to 174 hours for the month, with a required 216. So again, not all reserves met their hours. Actually, 8 out of the 9 did not. And again, prefacing with that with, I don't know what agreements he has with each of the officers, but I think that's something that needs to be brought up to you guys and followed along with. For the month of December, holiday months, November and December, so there can be some things there that I understand. But with the knowledge that, something, so total reserve hours for, and actually December out of all the months is one of the best months. We have 8 reserves at 24 hours each, should be 192 hours. And they met that with 192.14 hours, keeping in mind that Bab got 60 and a half hours. So he made enough hours for almost 3 deputies himself. But you still had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that were out of that threshold. So you had 5 out of the 8 that did not meet the required hours. For the month of January, 4 out of the 9 reserves did not make their 24-hour requirement with, but there was a lot of training in that time, so which I'm happy with training. I think that's a great thing. I think a large majority of reserves in the state of Indiana are not highly trained, and so I think that it's an important step to make sure they are trained. But with that being said, typically you're going to get a lot of your training in the beginning of the year and the end of the year, so that's just typically how it goes, because you have the minimum requirements that the Indiana requires for reserves to maintain their status as sworn officers. So, but for here, 4 out of the 9 did not meet the required 24 hours. And then my favorite one is February, where at the meeting for February, Chief Pryor or Marshal Pryor said that, hey, all my reserves get their hours or they wouldn't be here. Not a single reserve met the required 24 hours of service on duty, and there was no training or anything otherwise involved in that. So none of them met. We were at 75.3 hours of missing time. And again, I just think it's important that if there's a individual rules in place that needs to be evaluated by you guys to say, well, more than often, less than 50% of our reserves are meeting their required hours. Is it too much to ask? Is it, what do you, how do you guys want to go about that? Maybe it's more conversations that Brian needs to bring to you guys about, well, my reserves can't meet their hours because 24 is just too much. I don't personally think that's a big ask. I do 20 hours a month, no problem. I can do more than that. I have passion for it. If you don't have passion for it, you probably shouldn't do it. But occasionally, when there's exceptions and things, I have work trips and stuff. You can't always make your hours. I get that. But the consistency is the problem. And this is just a small outlook on the last October, November, December, 5 or 6 months, right? And that is very consistently more than 50% of your reserves are not meeting their hours. So I think that's a problem. And again, it's nothing against, I know some of these deputies, I think they're great. But I think that if they're going to serve a community and I don't know how many of them live in this community, and I don't live in the community that I serve either. But I just, as a taxpayer, and I'm sure that I know plenty of taxpayers that have problems with various things that the police department does, whether they're police, pro-police or otherwise, it doesn't matter. It's the taxpayers pay for the insurance and things. It's inherently a risk to have reserve officers. It just is, because they're less trained, right? And they have to be, in a car with somebody for so long once they pass the minimum required hours for FTO and all those various things. But I think that there's a place for reserves and we need them. And I think they're a great resource, but we should be getting the hours that they put into it, or they should find somewhere else to go. And we should find people that want to do this and serve this town. So, but anyway, I can answer questions about some of this stuff, but I think a lot of the questions I don't really have. It's just data that I have. But I think that whether, I don't think it was intentional or intentionally malicious, but his statement that all reserves are getting their hours or else they wouldn't be here was untruthful in terms of maybe he believed they were and he hadn't looked at the data. I don't know. That part is there. So, but that was a false statement per the data, just entirely factually based in the data. And I can't make any decisions on that other than I can bring it to you guys, but that's for you guys to deal with. You brought on 3 more reserves last month, and 2 of them are stuff to go through 40-hour or they may have already gone through, but they had to go through 40-hour pre-basic, which is fine. And but there's things that go in that, and then they also have 300 and whatever, I forget what the town ordinance says, the number of FTO hours that they're required to go through. So they're going to ride with another officer and they're going to do on-the-job training, which is great. You have 1 certified officer that has been to the academy and works at another department, so maybe his is a little bit less time, depending on things that they might transfer otherwise. But still, we're bringing on those 3 people when the large majority of our reserves are not making their hours anyways. So it kind of seems pointless to pay for more insurance and more gas and more time for, Brian to teach 40-hour pre-basics and things, for them to be doing that. So that's where I have a problem with is it's actually not lack of, it's very consistent, but consistency that is negative for the town that we all live in and care about. So that's kind of what I have to say. If you guys have any questions for me, I'm more than willing to answer anything, but beyond that, I don't have any other remarks. So.
Anybody have anything on that?
Nope. Is 24 hours too much? I mean, I
If you're
know.
asking me, no. They are getting the hours they are required. If they have missed, it is an excuse. It's either illness, work. There's something that's related to the reason that they have not covered their full hours, so it's been an excused absence.
This is what he gave.
Then we do training. There's trainings, there's department meetings that are a couple hours every month.
And I think that all should count for you guys. I think you take time out of your day to come and be a part of this and get updates. You guys I don't know if you guys went to the Marshals Association conference, that was this week, but or if you guys go to the ILEA conference and things, that all counts because you're bettering yourselves and doing things. But again, if that's documented, they're not getting the hours is factual. It's right there based on the ordinance. So. I guess I ask, what do you guys think about that? For him to tell you that they were getting their hours or they wouldn't be here, and then we come to the next meeting and, it's clearly not the case being presented to you.
Well, by what he gives you, yes. If he doesn't have all the info on there, then that's part of the reason.
Right, but.
It's not all documented.
Yeah, it's not all documented, and it should be transparent to you guys. Even because if you just did quick math on the hours that he had last month, I forget what it was, but it was significantly under the 200 and 8 reserves or whatever. It was 240 hours, right? And so I think that's what it is. Math is escaping me, but
192.
Yeah, 192. So like when you go and you look at that, and if you have all the numbers of reserves and the hours that they should have worked, which is 24, and you can very clearly see that, but I just don't think there's transparency and whether reserves are getting there, because you guys can't ask questions, and you just are, and you should be able to trust, and I'm not saying you can't trust the police department, you guys should be able to have all that informative information and see what reserves aren't. You guys can ask, questions about why did this deputy not make their hours, right? And you have some deputies that I would venture to say want breaks, because Mr. Hewlett here, he gets, he'll do 60 hours in a month, and I think that's phenomenal, and I respect him for that. I think it's awesome that he's putting so much time and effort into this. But then you have other officers that are consistently never making 24 hours, or even sometimes 20 hours. There's multiple months where deputies don't make even 20 hours. And so he's putting in a bunch of effort when you have other deputies that aren't putting in effort. And I haven't even gotten into who's working off duty employment and various things, what that looks like for the permit process, or if you guys even have a permit process, or if your insurance requires it, so on and so forth. But there's things that need to be focused on which is reserves actually making their hours. And if there's documented reasons, those need to be brought to you guys. So you can say, hey, why didn't they make their hours? Well, deputy so-and-so was sick with COVID or the flu or whatever. So, but those things need to be clearly outlined and given to you guys. The other thing I believe in the past, I don't know how you guys have handled reserve deputies being let go, but that's entirely on you guys. That's your power. He doesn't have any power to let deputies go. Based on your town ordinance, yes, he can recommend them. And I don't know if you guys are voting on that or not. But just for your guys' information and reading that, I thought that was an interesting power, and make sure that you guys are, sometimes I know the town I'm in, the town council a lot of times relies on the police department to help them interpret the ordinances and things and give that to you guys. And I know you have a lawyer that also is supposed to do that and whatnot. So, but that just for your guys' information, the deputies work for you guys. And you have the ability to dismiss them and otherwise, and he has to bring recommendations to you for that purpose. So.
Okay, thank you. Nothing? Nobody? Okay. Is Angela here? Bailey?
Don't think she is.
I think she's off. Yeah.
She is, I will tell you what she's running. Her sidewalk in front of her house, it's 107 White Street. It's broken up, bad shape. She would like the town to repair it. I told her that I believe that we have, it's either an ordinance or it's in minutes, that we do 50% of that, and then the owner also does 50% of that. We've been looking for that. I haven't found that yet, but it was like Thursday or Friday of last week, so.
Okay.
That is what her thing is, and there's also a tree there, and I don't know if she wants the tree down, because, I mean, the tree is, you know how trees grow, and then they break up the sidewalk, so it's kind of where that's at. If you want to see it, Wendell has video, or you can just drive by 107 White Street and look at it.
It's down on the other side, isn't it?
Yeah, it's down here,
Okay.
the first block by, off of Lee Street.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's what her thing was, so, we'll continue to look for those this week.
Look for that, and then the next meeting we can decide if we have an ordinance or something.
Okay.
Is that her tree, or is it?
No, it's on the town side, but the tree isn't bad, because actually, Wendell's got a quote for that tree.
Yeah.
And the owner asked me, he said, may I just ask why you want the tree down? I'm like, I said it has something to do with the sidewalk or something, is what I always said, so.
It was kind of if we do put in a sidewalk, it's gotta come out due to the roots pushing it up, hopefully, in that area, it would be nice for that sidewalk to be raised, so hopefully that can happen and the tree could stay. Actually, two neighbors asked me, they didn't want it down, but of course they are not that property owner either, so. But it was $3,875, the first estimate that came in on that tree removal. So hopefully we don't have to do that. I did get just a ballpark estimate, really not nothing in writing, but looking at 75 feet is what I measured out there, about 5 foot wide. Minimum is probably going to be $3,000 or somewhere in that ballpark.
Okay. Depends on if she wants to, if it does say that we 50% us and them, she might not want to do that.
Okay. I'll move forward with estimates just in case.
Okay, do that. Do you have anything, sir?
You go ahead, I'm just here listening.
Okay, all right.
I got something to add later, but.
Well, do it now.
Well, I guess when I was here last month, something came up after I left. The building I bought down there next to my shop, I bought for my daughter's business. And, she does operate a business out of it. It's not a residence. She, is kind of a loner. kind of socially awkward. She got into crystals and making jewelry and stuff. And she's there like most of the time. She's got TV there, couch. She's there making stuff. You know, I told Teresa 2 years. It's actually almost 2.5 years. When I bought the building December 23. Does she stay there sometimes? Yeah, but her home is our house on the other side of Newcastle. She doesn't have a P.O. box here, an address here, but she's there working and doing that's her, I don't like these new cheesy words. I'm an old timer, but safe space or whatever young people want to call it. That's her place. That's her thing. I don't know why this just was brought up that she has a residence there or something. It's my business. Last summer or something, Roger comes get a report, somebody broke in and stole $500 or $700 worth of stuff. So it's her business. She has a TikTok show 2 days a week. You know, she does the Strawberry Festival. She's great in it for 6 years, and the Pumpkin Festival. That's her business there. So whatever information that was her whole residence is not totally accurate. So with her staying there from time to time, sometimes all the time, sometimes not, am I required to get some kind of variance or what? It's not her resident. She don't have a mailing address or anything. It's kind of like a clubhouse, a business, you know, for a place.
Julie?
You know?
If he wants a permit to stay there, it's up for us to determine whether she's living there or not. And they say not.
Okay. How often?
Whatever you want me to do. I didn't know that it was an issue. She's been there, like I said, we've had it 2.5 years. She doesn't have a shop where you can walk in and out.
Yeah.
Cause Shirley's small, you know, but she did have one in Newcastle, and I bought that and closed it down for her to do it, cause she's doing all shows on the road and on TikTok and stuff. And all her stock is there. I want everybody to hear that. Since we don't have 24-hour police coverage with sitting in front of the store, so.
What's it zoned, Wendell?
Pardon?
Do you know what it's zoned?
R3.5, I believe.
No,
No, it's business, isn't it?
commercial.
Commercial.
community.
Yeah, commercial community.
She's not there all the time. She's there sometimes. She's there all the time. That her residence is at Newcastle. That's just her place where she stays and work. Yeah, she may stay the night if she's working late or whatever. She may stay. That's her place. So whatever you
How
feel.
often does she stay the night?
Sometimes all the time, sometimes not.
Well, what's all the time? 7 days a week?
Sometimes, sometimes not. She doesn't have a kitchen stove there. She doesn't have a mailing box.
Does she have a shower or tub?
It's up to you, whatever, you know, you want me to do.
Does she have a shower or tub?
Yeah, it's all there. All the plumbing and stuff's in there. Burton didn't want to pay a water bill or something, so she just never had the, you know, water on. So if it's easier for people that want to gripe or complain or find that there's a problem, I'll just go ahead and do a variance. I guess the first stop is here. If that would be cover everybody, you know,
Would it be like we did it?
whatever we want to do. I just want to be where it
It
won't
would
be
be,
any
the
conflict.
problem is, even the person there isn't, he was supposed to have some sort of business in the front where he was doing something, and he's not done that.
No.
That's part of the issue.
The variance is actually
And
designed so
they
they
currently
can
have
have
black
a
plastic over the
storefront
windows that
with
faces.
public
the-
access and a residence in that building.
That's what the guy next door has. He don't have a business, so he has a residence next door.
But his
Shall we
variance says that he's supposed to be running a business in that front.
Yeah. Now, in our case, Shelby's got a business, she just stays there, whether it's not a resident, like she's raising kids and it's got a mailing address and all
It
that.
doesn't look like a business.
Mhm.
Look, it's not a business because somebody busted the window out and stole a bunch of
I
stuff. And
understand that.
I know, but Roger's the one that made a suggestion about blocking the windows out. That's why we put the plastic up. I mean, what do we want, you know, you said something about blinds and stuff, but I don't see why that matters. It's their business, but I will put blinds up if that,
That's the council's decision.
If it's zoned commercial,
Yes,
you can't make it look like a house.
not unless you
No,
change
no.
the zoning.
Yeah.
Right.
it's their business, it's a business
It's a
building.
business, there's
But,
just,
but he's suggesting blinds kind of
well,
like a
he
house.
has black plastic over the windows.
Yeah, somebody knocked, the window is a large window, it has individual pane. Somebody knocked one of them out and stole a bunch of stuff. I can't remember, it's 500 or something or 700 or something, I can't remember which one, quite a lot. So,
The State of Indiana reviews residency somewhere for you, requirement for you to get your address and everything changed after 180 days. So if she stays there more than 180 days, then that would be considered residency for the state of Indiana.
well, she's not there all the time, so
But again, there may be town ordinances and things that,
whatever
or
you guys
county
decide.
ordinances that change that based on what living in a space means.
And with it currently being zoned as commercial, it's not zoned to be any sort of a residence, temporary or permanent.
Is what?
With it being zoned commercial, which is what the property is currently zoned as through Hancock County, it's not zoned to be a residence or
Yeah.
temporary or permanent. Just looking
Right.
at Beacon, looking at the address, the zoning is just commercial.
The other part of this, you're saying business, but there's no physical evidence that that's a business. There's no
Are
advertising.
you kidding me?
No, there's no advertising on the building, there's no public access to the building. It's more like a storage building,
Well, that's a business in itself, even if it's storage,
but
but
still,
she,
you're on Main Street.
she has been in the Strawberry Festival the last 6 years in the peddler.
That's fine,
But
that's
that's all
good,
business.
but the building's what we're talking about, not what she's doing. We're
So what
talking
do you-
about the building.
So what are you saying that a business is supposed to look like? We're in the 2026 where we have internet businesses now, shipping businesses. And there's several of them in town here, by the
Yes,
way, and
there
there's
are.
several of them in residential areas that are
Yes.
operating shipping businesses.
Yes.
So that's this gray area.
If you look at the other businesses on Main Street that are shipping businesses,
Yes,
you can still tell that there's some kind of a business there. It doesn't look like it's a building that's just sitting there with the windows blocked out.
okay,
They've got
so
lines and stuff. They've got signs up saying that they're a business there.
well, I don't need to do that.
They're
There's no,
clearly
But
identified.
it's a commercial location.
there's no requirement for any signage. So
No,
that's
there's not.
That's just
But
somebody.
there's a requirement about living in the building.
Huh?
There's a requirement about living in the
Yes,
building.
and the thing is that it's been presented, I guess, by, it must be you that has a problem with it, because
Nope,
it's a business, and if it, your own police department's been down there investigating a crime in my business. So why would anybody ever say that we're not running the business?
It doesn't look like.
Matter of fact, I've got this retail sales,
There's been
It's up to
several
the
people
council
that
to
asked me
decide
if
what they
somebody
wanna
lived
do.
there.
here's the
And that was why we got the letter.
here's the retail merchant certificate. Licenses, state of Indiana, if anybody wants to see that. That's all that's required to pay sales tax and everything that we do. So if you want, just because she's there like a clubhouse or whatever, she makes candles, she wraps jewelry with crystals. They do all kinds of different stuff she sells online and all these shows. If you want me to have a variance, then I'm applying for a variance. That way there won't be any issue.
I think more the issue is it needs to look like a business.
It does look like a business.
No, it doesn't.
The code, the
Really?
code enforcement officer, have they been notified for zoning?
Wait a minute, are you serious? It looks just like the rest of the businesses down on Main
Because we
Street.
started with this
Okay.
first.
here's a suggestion. Why don't we table this for a month? I will contact Hancock County Planning and see if someone could come by and examine the property and give us the county definition.
Okay.
Is that fair?
And actually, that is probably good for anything that's on Main Street.
Mhm.
Is that
It
all right with
probably
you?
almost.
I don't see why it's necessary, but sure, I ain't got nothing to hide, but
Okay.
your
No.
officer right back there has been in my
understand.
business. He can
Well,
verify it.
I don't think it's the inside of the business that we're talking about.
It's more the outside,
Exterior.
the outside of it.
It's just like Janice Burton had it for years. It's exactly the same. Matter of fact, I even put a $2,000 door up. I'm just shocked about this, really. I didn't know that's what the letter was gonna run into. I thought it was just somebody said this, but what am I supposed to do, make a internet shipping business look like a business?
I think Little has a good.
That's what's
We'll
gonna
go
be
with what Wendell
evaluated by the
says, we'll
county.
get somebody over there, look at it, and let them give us their feedback.
And then
Then
I'm
we'll go
looking at the
Well, why don't you
inside.
just let me apply for a variance? I'm submitting my request. What is the process?
Town has to approve the variance if I.
That's what I said, so let me apply for.
The town council has to say,
Okay,
can
let me.
maintain variance. Then you go to Hancock County and they will look at the optional variances for that zoning.
Let me
And you
start the
may end up
process.
getting nothing.
Let me start the process, where we start. Right here? Is this where we start? Let's start the process. I've got a legal team that wants to work on it with me.
I mean, we can,
That's what you told me the other
would rather, I mean, it's up to you guys.
day. Teresa, you told me the other day that the first step was to come to the board meeting. That's why I'm here.
Well, yeah, I know, I did, because they needed to know your side.
Yeah.
It's their decision as a council.
I'm shocked that this is even an issue. I mean, it's my little daughter that's, socially awkward. That's her kind of one space, you know? Her residence is out on Brown Road in Newcastle.
I think we need to decide what's best for Shirley and what we really want Shirley to be.
And there's also minimal standards for non-residential structures. Zoning code officer will
Yes.
take a look at.
And our zoning code officer is Hancock County, so I think the best thing for them to do is come and look at all the businesses on Main Street, actually,
For
And,
county
you
to
know,
reevaluate.
to be evaluated.
Right.
Getting,
The local schools and all that, that you got some girl that's socially awkward, that stays to herself and makes jewelry and artwork and sells it, and start her little internet business, if it's even a problem. You got a guy next door that's out there all the time. It don't make sense. Let me just start the process.
so we're gonna let Hancock County come in, access the whole Main Street,
That
and
is,
go from there.
that is, I
Did
mean,
anybody assess him to go through
That's
this
why they're
process?
getting someone to come in.
He's
No,
gonna be
he-
reassessed to see if
he's
he's
gonna be
meeting his
reassessed.
requirements.
because he did come in and got a variance and actually is not possibly holding up to what he was supposed to do.
So a reevaluation of the
So it's a-
entirety would be
Yes, exactly.
applicable.
I'm a little stunned that that this has been brought back as an issue. I mean, unbelievable. Is there any other issues floating around? Wow.
Nicole?
We had 90 delinquents, 22 door tags, and 3 shut-offs this month. And that's all.
Wendell?
I talked to Jeff, Tech Casting, and, he's okay with the 1, 2, 3 plan, assuming that, you know, it stays within the property that he has at that time.
We looked at that map last week.
And, then we go to the gravel behind Sky Pizza. Do you want an estimate on that? And we're probably looking at $1,500 to $2,000 on the gravel, about 400 labor, 100 in gas. We got low power lines in there, so it's not a matter of pulling a truck down there and dumping. It's gonna be, you know, basically take it in by tractor or skid steer or something, so.
So you're looking at total cost 2,000?
I'd say 2,500 would be shouldn't be over that for sure, but we're hoping it's under the 2.
I don't know that the town has ever put gravel there. That, to my knowledge, it was a closed alley and that lived through there and wanted to, I mean, it started probably a long time ago, that somebody might have put gravel down through there. And that only goes, it ends right at his property because runs right into the railroad right there where the old railroad used to be. It's really a weird situation. Emily, will you?
I have it as a grass alley on my,
Yeah, it's a
my
grass
stuff.
alley.
If you want us to go and fix potholes and just do minor maintenance just as courtesy, you could do that too, if you want to do that.
You guys would do that though.
Yeah, we would do that.
Center off South Street, right? Right here. This is the old railroad. This is the grass alley and it ends right there. Because this was all railroad property. And then like Eric owns this here and this here, and that's where he's put gravel at. And this is, it goes like this, but it ends right there. Here it is, right there.
Yeah.
Because that's the church, and it ends right there.
Just a
So
grass alley.
the town owns, well, town owns over here, then this house owns half of this because it was the old railway. So yeah, it's like, what is there, one house back, but there's the church here, then there's a house here, and then then the business there. And it's probably, I mean, it's a good idea that they park back there because of the traffic that comes on Main Street. Thank you. And, but I just wanted you to see, it's marked as a grass alley.
It's more gravel than grass.
Well, I know why, and I think the reason that is, I think other businesses and stuff before you had put gravel in there. But we have it as a grass alley, so that's my only thing that I'm saying, but he's right, it has a lot of gravel in it.
My only problem is that when you pull in, there's great big holes and just creeping, it splashes water on that guy's house. And I'm concerned, I don't want any problem with any neighbors, and I'm concerned that when he raises the windows, that's gonna splash in his house and the screens and stuff. So that's what I was kind of worried about. Plus, the other part is that, in the middle is heaping where the small cars is dragging. In the middle, where, you know what I'm talking about, how they humps in the middle when you drive through.
You say you can grade that out?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, we'll grade it out for you.
That's all I was saying. I was talking to, Floria last year. I put a bunch of gravel up in there and he, said he was gonna get, what's your name again? I can't remember your name.
Wendell.
Oh, Wendell.
Wendell, yeah. He said he was gonna get with you and talk about trying to do a little bit of maintenance on it and stuff, because it's kind of bad shape back there. But by the way, I'm not the only one that uses it either. You got Kerr and the gal that owns the beauty shop. She actually comes through where the telephone company is. She switched through there, but sometimes she uses that too, so.
We'll grade it and see what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
So you go.
Thank you.
Josh? I see you back there.
We did 38 total runs last month. We had our breakfast, which was a really good turnout. You have 2 quotes for the vent simulator building to replace the roofing. And then building update, we do have the permits and they did start today. They were digging out from underneath the south station wall to shore that up to make sure that it doesn't fall. So they'll probably be pouring concrete the next day or 2 underneath that. And then once they have that finished, they will be starting on the clear of the building.
Okay. And our plan is, for the construction workers, is block off that back alley.
Yes, that would, if we could pretty much just block that off until until we tell them it's done.
Okay.
And that way,
From now until
yeah, till we're
finished.
done with station, that way.
Keep it off of
nothing-
Main Street.
Do they have a timeline?
No,
I wish, but
we keep asking, that makes it better.
he's hoping by fall,
Okay.
weather permitting, obviously.
Yeah,
I know.
I think it actually is a typewriter. He's very, very nice. It's hard to spell.
Which one do you guys want to go with? Which one? Okay.
Schaefer's a good option.
I'd like to get that building repaired for 6180 and go with well-hung gutters.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Teresa, are you gonna contact them or you want me to?
Do you want us to work with you or you want us to work with Alex?
No.
We'll get with
He was the one
Alex.
put in charge of it.
Whoever's not here.
Yeah.
Somebody else.
Well, I know that Alex got the quotes and that's why he's been working with them.
Yeah.
He's been heading it up, so.
Yeah, he'll be overseeing that. So, and we'll get with him and, well, one of us will. And
Just kidding.
you're the one that's been talking to him. So anyway, we'll get with that and get that taken care of.
I'll add it to my list.
Is that it, sir?
That's it.
All right, thank you. Brian, you were up, sir.
294 calls, we got 14 open cases, saw a couple of vehicle thefts. And worked with Hancock County on a couple more that turned out to be the exact same people doing it. 185, 21 hours reserves, 308 merit, 195.48 hours of training combined. No news on the grant for the Durango besides the same thing they've been telling us, it's probably not gonna happen. But we're gonna have to do something about the Durango, it's sitting in the shop with a blown. It's over 7,000. The motor.
How much are bicycles? Hey, we extended the trail down the line, man. It's a lot faster now.
That is true. The even better one.
I don't know,
Hey,
that hump right
that's a
there.
big hill though.
What was our cost when we bought yours?
It would
Do
come.
you remember?
from-
I know we had that trade-in roughly,
You're gonna ask. This is,
and that was without
it's gonna
lights.
come out
That
of
was
his
everything.
Lowit,
55.
which is his,
Have you looked at any ones? Anything?
Have you been looking, Brian?
Probably just go to the same company, John Jones. I'd probably buy one right off the lot and however long they can squeeze it in quick, we might be able to have one within a couple weeks. It's gonna be longer than that, or
How much are you thinking?
roughly 55-ish,
yours was more than that.
I guess.
It was like 60 something, I thought.
No,
I'm
that was the truck.
just trying to remember.
Yeah,
You what?
the black truck was 60 something.
Yeah, because the truck's more expensive.
Right, yeah.
Can we request that it's marked?
Is the floor open for
Yeah.
public comments? I know with Robert Rules of Order, public can't interject until it's time for public comments, so I just wasn't sure if it was open.
It's open.
Okay.
The last Durango's marked,
All of our vehicles are marked, actually, just not mine.
just.
His isn't. I just saw it driving around there. I didn't know it hadn't seen. the- I just know the observers were driving it around. Over the weekend.
I remember we were working off of last year's budget because,
I know
Just to
somebody-
give you a
but we
heads
can
up,
ask if we're just appropriations too. Public safety, because Lowit is a budgeted item. I had budgeted 35, hoping that we would get the grant. That was in 25. And
It's in order.
we have, what they have to spend out of Lowit is probably close to that right there. Yes, because, but they still have other things that are coming out of that, like, I can't even say the word right. Brian, what's that stuff, the company, the Colas or something like that, that I think it's your computer stuff, the licensing and through the county or whatever, and I'm not sure.
Caliber?
That's it. That's close to it was 72 or 7,300 last year. And then we have the tasers that come out of this and everything else.
Here, you got that.
No, this is the total in all of this.
So what's the police?
Because that's what I'm saying, because I took the total and took this out, which is, right, I took it out of this to get this. So yes, we have the funds to do, but you're talking this 7 and then you're talking new, and so now, I mean, that's what you get to work with, but I'm just letting you know that there's other expenses that come out of there every year. This was another expense that I didn't write what it was, the licensing, last year was 72.46 and 25, so I know it's gonna go up. So there's close to 20 that's being spent out of that every year that we already know. Yeah, yes, out of that.
You have this for the budget, right?
I already have that, that was just, yeah. I mean, we're gonna have to ask for additional appropriations, we know that. My hope was that we would get the grant thing and we didn't, so. Or we're not, and I know that USDA is not giving money out, and I don't know where else to go to get a grant for,
I already applied for the paperwork for USDA, and they were basically told me it ain't gonna happen.
I tried calling them for you too, and they told me the same thing.
They said the money's dried up and there's none out
Yeah,
there.
they have not.
And I don't know where else there is, unless there's local grants or something, but there's not usually that much money in local grants.
There's a big grant database, you can get to it through the Newcastle Library, but it's very, you have to have someone sitting there full time just to find the right grant. So probably, did you find the money? Probably so. It was hours and hours and hours of work.
Right.
To do it. Volunteer? Oh.
Well, we're kind of in a bad spot because the white truck went down Saturday. And it is possibly a motor going out of it as well. The Durango, the head gasket's blue and it's fried cylinder walls. It is unrepairable. I haven't got that over to them to look at yet, because I didn't want to have to tow it over, but I don't have a choice. Maybe we'll get lucky on the white one, but I hold my breath. They're same year, roughly same miles.
Have you only looked at the one place to repair? I don't know where you're even take them. I'm just asking because it's a big expense.
Any place I've called, that's where it's sitting is the cheapest place I can get it repaired.
So where are you at right now?
It's at Langston's.
Oh, in Greenville? I almost thought that was nice down, then I thought again.
Is there money to purchase a new vehicle? Can we do that and he'll still have enough money to fund other things that can be taken care of?
Doing that for the 7,000 repair?
You have that, pretty much is what I'm just letting you know, I'm just letting you know what I was letting you know, because there's other things that come out of that as well, but there is that money, there's 166,000 approximately in the Lowett money that belongs to the police department.
Where would the repair come from?
Where would the repair? It would probably come from the same place, because the repair and maintenance, that would probably blow it away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Now we got a truck.
Yeah, and there's a truck too. I do have, 10 in that, in Lowett for repairs on that, but that's all part of that 166. And then they have about 7,960 left in the budget for the repair and maintenance in their general fund. So they got almost 8 there.
Do you want to repair the Durango?
Do you have
So
an
how many
option?
vehicles do we need? How many do we need? Just one vehicle?
That's all we have right now.
We need one, okay. So if we repair the Durango and then continue to work toward getting a new vehicle maybe next year, something like that?
You're gonna need more than one vehicle.
Yeah.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes, sir.
My name is Frank Peters. I was the police chief in Nicetown for 5 years, so I know all about the struggles of vehicle repairs, and I'm very familiar with the heavy motor that's in both the white truck and the Durango. We had a 2019 Charger at Nicetown that we dumped money in constantly. To me, in my opinion, it's not worth repairing those when they need $7,000, $8,000 in repairs. But one suggestion I would make, if you don't have the money right now to buy a vehicle outright, maybe look at some low APR financing. That's options that we had looked at. And then, because remember, you can always pay those off early. So if you finance it for a year, and then next year you just pay it off then.
You replace the motor, that's when you go to the transmission.
So we buy this one, now, then we're gonna have to buy another one after that? Is that right?
What's that?
So we buy this, if we do buy a new one, then we need to buy another one in addition to that? Is that correct,
No,
Brian?
what I'm saying is if you go ahead and purchase one now, you can finance it if you don't have the money currently, just like you would a normal vehicle, right? And then in a year, when you do have the funds, you can pay it off then.
I was just asking Brian, you need one vehicle or you need 2 vehicles?
We need 2. I mean, I've asked Dave before I spoke about when the Durango wasn't an issue, that we would like to keep it so we have a spare vehicle, 2 spare vehicles, because we're in a situation now that kind of backs up what I've talked about in the past. Everybody's trying to use one car. So we start putting all that wear and tear on that car will be in the shop next. So while you're thinking about that, John has something that has come to him and he wants to present it, and I'll let him present this part.
Thank you.
That's all right, thank you.
Pass these down.
I actually have a couple left here.
So, go ahead and put this for you guys. Good evening, thank you for your time. For those who don't know me, my name is John Anderson. I currently serve as a reserve for the Shirley Police Department. I bring over 27 years of law enforcement experience, having previously served in Greenville Police Department in the roles including lieutenant, sergeant, detective, and patrol officer. Throughout my career, I have supervised personnel, led criminal investigation, directed field training programs. I am an Indiana Law Enforcement Academy Tier 1 certified officer and crisis intervention team trainer with additional certifications in critical and stress management and public safety diving. My experience includes assignments with field training unit as an FTO and a field training unit manager, domestic violence unit, special response team, dive unit, general and narcotics detective with the investigations division. I currently continue working in public safety through Community Health Network and Organ Recovery Transport Operations. I also serve as a board member for the Indiana Concerns of Police Survivors and as a member of the Indiana Corridor Police FOP Critical Incident Memorial Team, which responds statewide in line of duty deaths and critical incidents involving law enforcement officers. I say it all just to give you guys some background on myself, not to brag on anything. I'm here to respectfully request approval for the Shirley Police Department to accept a donation of 2 fully equipped patrol vehicles from the South Bend Police Department. The vehicle details are as follows. The donated vehicles are 2015 Ford Taurus Police Interceptors, fully equipped with emergency lighting systems, center consoles, Hattis laptop mounts, and the markings are prisoner cages as well. These vehicles are ready for immediate service upon transfer. The value of this donation, outfitting a single patrol vehicle with the included equipment typically costs between $12,000 and $18,000 per vehicle, placing the total equipment value of this donation at approximately $25,000 to $35,000, in addition to the value of the vehicles themselves. By comparison, placing a fully equipped patrol vehicle through traditional purchasing methods can cost $35,000 to $50,000 or more per unit, making this a substantial financial benefit to the town of Shirley at no cost to taxpayers. The operational need. Small law enforcement agencies often operate within tight budget constraints, as you guys all know, we've been talking about that already this evening. But the majority of funding is dedicated to personnel and daily operations. This leaves limited flexibility for large capital purchases such as patrol vehicles. As a result, agencies frequently retain vehicles beyond their optimal service life, experience increased maintenance costs, encounter reduced reliability and availability. Donations such as this provide a practical and widely accepted solution, allowing smaller departments to maintain safe and effective operations without increasing financial burden. The benefit to the town of Shirley: immediate cost savings, no acquisition or upfitting costs, eliminating significant capital expenditures, increased patrol capability, enables deployment of multiple officers, improved response times and community coverage. Enhanced officer safety: these vehicles are fully equipped with emergency response equipment and secure prisoner transport areas. Fleet sustainability: this will help reduce wear on existing vehicles and extend the lifespan of current fleet assets. Operational flexibility: it supports mutual aid response, training, and emergency call-outs without overextending resources. The financial impact: the vehicle cost is $0, equipment cost is $0, town responsibility is minimal, registration, fuel, insurance, and routine maintenance. My conclusion and recommendation is that donation represents a rare opportunity to significantly enhance Shirley Police Department's operational capability and public safety effectiveness at no cost to the town or the community. It's respectfully recommended the Shirley Town Board approve the acceptance of these two donated patrol vehicles. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys might have. I can try to answer the best of my ability. Again, thank you for your time and your attention in this matter. I greatly appreciate it, as well as we all.
Thank you.
Any questions for me that you guys can think of at the moment?
How'd you come across?
So, I know that when I talk about the FOP curriculum with one team, again, I work actually throughout the state with all kinds of different agencies, officers. Whenever it's kill line to do, we go, we help respond and help plan logistics for the funerals and stuff like that. One of the assets of the people I've worked with quite a bit is the South Bend Police Department, Scott Wiskowski. So I reached out to Chief Wiskowski, talked to him about the ability to maybe having some surplus vehicles that they might have, that they're getting ready to decommission. He looked into it. He had a list of vehicles. He had his fleet maintenance guys reach out to me and said, this is what we have available. We're happy to donate these vehicles to you. On top of, they also have another company out there willing to donate the striping for our vehicles to mark them up at no cost to us as well. So I requested, like I said, I think it'd be a benefit to the town.
John, how many miles were on this?
Roughly as well too. I did talk to the Kennard Police Department, also had some vehicles recently donated through South Bend Police Department. I talked to their officers who dealt with the donated vehicles. They said they came in excellent condition, no problems. They hadn't looked at maintenance wise. They didn't have any issues. They only had about 78,000 miles on them, which is significantly low for vehicles like that. So yes.
Well, Brian, would that suit your need?
Does this have, the computers that you guys have, is that the Havas that comes in it? Okay. I just want to make sure all
As
mounted.
well as all the, we talked as well, all the equipment that we would have to outfit it with, we have currently in our inventory that we wouldn't have any additional cost there to add, such as the computers, the MiFi boxes and the stuff like that, the printers as well.
And car radios, we
Yep.
still have.
That stuff we have in our surplus.
Mostly due to grants that the police department got.
That would help tremendously.
Especially right now.
Especially right now.
Right.
I would still ask that we replace the Durango with a newer car. And if we can have the two that he can get us for free, that keeps us with a rotation and we won't be wearing a certain car out all the time. And that's the biggest problem we got.
are we taking the white truck as a complete loss?
I will take it and have it looked at, and if it's minimal cost, get it fixed, and then you can sell it and recoup some of the money, or
Oh, we have that truck. What about the current Durango too?
the Durango. I mean, I don't know what we can get out of it with it the way it is. I can ask around.
I'm sure you can get something. I'm sure the transmission's still good and.
The car is still good.
It'd be a scrap.
You got a $7,000 motor.
The trade,
Try to load in for some money.
Yeah.
On top of it, off of it.
No, it's
I'm thinking, get a new one. Get the two donations and get rid of the truck and drink. Now you fix them. Why spend money on this?
Just get what we can out of it.
Yeah.
We'll strip our equipment out, and then you can sell it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's financially feasible there? Do you have to get a new one?
Can you repeat what you just said so that I can understand? Well, I just didn't hear all you said.
Take the donation,
Yes.
we'll have to do insurance and then
Right.
buy a new one. Get rid of the Durango truck. Donate, fix it.
Yes, that would be fine.
It can be done, not,
It can be done, yes.
how much of a burden is that gonna put on the police department for the rest of the year?
John, how soon could we have those donations?
So the way I believe it's set up, they would have their next
Set up
council meeting, I think is the
so
28th of this month.
Vehicles.
I would say within a week after that, maybe 2 weeks
Split it
tops.
between the fire and the police. Fire
Yeah.
is spending
So
about their
probably
percent.
be in service by early May to mid-May.
So this is what would have been their half last year. This is their part this year, so I took that, subtracted it, this is total loan money here. So this amount is what, because the police hasn't spent as much because I've been giving fire department money for the building. Okay, so this is about what we have, but we also have about 20,000 a year thereabouts currently without anything else that happens that goes out annually for those things. Yes.
So does that start getting scary when you get down that low?
So he's saying completely outfitted, where'd he go? There he is. Completely outfitted, the quote that you gave was like 50, is that with light, I mean, everything, lights, that, you know what I'm saying?
55, 56, somewhere in that area.
So high
I mean,
voltage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, they have that, so, yes.
I mean, I can get a quote first thing in the morning and send it to all three of you if you want.
So, yeah, I just want you guys to see that.
How do you feel about that?
I would hope that they would be conscientious of the fuel costs too, because we do use a lot of fuel. With having 4 vehicles now instead of 3, would the fuel costs be higher? Because.
Well, one of them said, it's not.
Well, I'm just saying the police department currently spends between $10,000 and $15,000 on fuel a year.
Yeah, but with these Porsches, they're gonna get better gas mileage.
That's
than that
true.
Chevy truck.
That's true.
Yeah.
So one will just kind of be a rotate, basically using the vehicles the same way you
Yes.
have, only you kind of rotate to.
And then like the 2 that are being donated, we would use as a pool cart, and we'll rotate those.
I was about to say, theoretically, your fuel cost should stay about the same.
It helps with festivals too. Prime example was the Pumpkin Festival. There were, I think, 5 of us there. There were 2 calls and only 1 car could go. The rest of us were just standing there. So like on festivals and stuff, it's nice. Help with parade stuff. We'll be able to have more vehicles out to assist with things like that.
The Tauruses are also V6s, so they're gonna consume less fuel naturally.
I have one drink, though, so it's good to have the vehicles.
Do you need to make a motion?
Somebody
What you
does.
want
No, go ahead. I'm just trying to move it along.
Okay. I would like to make a motion for us to receive the 2 donations from South Bend Police Department.
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I also like to make a motion for Brian to purchase a new vehicle to replace the Durango and truck, and we will not fix the Durango or truck.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
You're getting a finger.
I think that we need a motion to sell the other two or something, right?
How are you going to purchase it too?
Yeah,
Are you gonna pay outright or are you going to finance?
you probably needed to put that in your motion.
Yeah.
And also a cap on cost.
Yeah,
And a cap on
just
cost.
add to your motion, I assume you would do.
Like add to my motion, nothing over 60,000. And you want to pay it out of Lowit? Make motion to pay it out of Lowit.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. Thank
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Work on that.
Yes, thank you very much for that. But do we need to do something with the two that we're going to sell? We need to make some type of motion that they can, what are we gonna do with those? Do we
It's
need
not
to-
gonna be able
You're
to
either
be
gonna have to
sold right
auction it.
away.
Well, they will, I mean, we can sell them outright or whatever. We just have to, we have to do the sealed bid thing.
Right.
But I guess we need estimates as well and then bring that back to the council.
You probably have a good month, because we have to take equipment.
Yeah, it's gonna.
Well, I know that, but what I'm saying is, you know how we've done it before?
Yeah.
Where you have to get the strip down
It's gonna take
and
time
then
to.
investigate what they're worth and then bring that to the council to approve what you want to get out of them and whether you're gonna do a sealed bid or however.
I should have a dollar amount for the next meeting
That's what I'm talking
about
about.
what we can get out of it.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John, thank you for bringing that to the council.
I appreciate you guys doing that.
Was that all, Brian?
Yes, sir.
Teresa, you were up.
I know, so you should have in front of you this right here, this insurance premium. Insurance company just wanted me to show you that we, yeah, we have a savings on our insurance, so I just was bringing that to your attention. I did look into drone insurance for the drone, thing that we have not approved or anything with. It's been said that we have one, but we've not ever approved the drone. But the insurance for that, they said would be in the hundreds of dollars, not thousands or anything. Yeah, it would just be added onto this.
But they haven't given you a figure exactly on that.
When I asked, they were in here on Wednesday. And I just asked, or Thursday. And I said, what would the cost be on that? And she said, it would be minimal. And I was like, okay, what's your minimal compared to mine? She said, it would be a few hundred. I'm thinking like 500 or so. We have all the information that was given to us. We have their licensing and Brian actually talked to them while they were here so they would know so he would know what they needed. So we have that. I think we have all of it now. But I just wanted to share that with you, and then you know the financial reports. We kind of looked at them a little bit with the police vehicle. I don't know if you have any questions on that. I will say this, I've been getting some receipts, not very often, that have tax on them sometimes because they have to go buy stuff. But I will be, after, there's one on they had to go to the dollar store and purchase antifreeze. I'm not going to pay the tax from now on. They will have to pay that themselves. Because I'm not going to get told from State Board of Accounts doing something I'm not supposed to be doing. So I will do the one that is on there now, but in future, anyone in the department that does taxes I will not be paying the taxes.
Okay.
So that's out of their own pocket.
Just let them know that.
I just did.
Are they in this room?
That's not my fault.
That's one thing.
Mowing and upkeep, unkept properties. Ooh. There are a couple of properties in town that we've had to mow last year. We don't really have an amount that we would charge for us doing that, labor, fuel. So once it gets to 12 inches, we can mow it.
Do we have an ordinance for
Yes.
Yes,
that? Is there a price in the ordinance?
no, that's the problem.
No, that's the issue.
So that way, when that happens, and it just so happens that one of them is a house that's went up for tax sale, and it will be coming off tax sale in September, October-ish. So I want to make sure I have all the lien information on that
Right.
when that goes up for tax sale, because they also are getting charged $23 a month for sewer, because there's a sewer line there and there's a house. So we have I just filed a lien on them a month or so ago, but right before this comes up, I'll update that lien to what the current charges are, so that before that property can be let go, they have to pay that. So I just need to know, mowing is part of that. So I need to know, what do we charge? I mean,
Can
they're
I
not,
make a suggestion on that?
yeah,
So I used to run my own landscape company, and I would not cut a yard for anything less than $100.
I'm thinking it needs
Yeah.
to hurt,
well, and that's what I thought, that's what I thought it was.
Can't be like $10, that's gonna be not.
And then we also have to
Confidence.
think,
You're paying
depending on what
guys.
house,
Right.
some are one lots,
Some are
mine is
multiples.
3.
Yeah.
It's gonna take longer, so do we do it by
Lot size?
So $300 charge you?
cut your grass?
Fair.
I mean, if you do $100 a lot, I mean, someone could have a teeny tiny house, but it's still on one lot, that would
Caleb's
work
house
out.
versus
I'd
yours,
say
right.
$150 a lot.
I would do 150 a lot, because that covers your fuel, your labor, and any wear and tear on the mower,
150 a lot?
Per lot, yeah.
per lot.
So I have 3, so that would be 150 times 3.
Because by the time
Cut
you
your
get,
grasses.
by the time you get your
There might
yard that
be a
tall,
state
you're gonna be
statute on that, I
mowing
don't know. Do you,
Do we
Julie?
need to find out?
I think she's over there digging.
Yeah, I'm digging, it's gotta be reasonable, whatever.
That's what
your
I,
costs are.
that's what I thought.
Well,
It
and
would have to be
that's-
reasonable.
If it's like local people are charging 100 to 150 per yard, I feel
Whatever
like it
your
is
costs are.
reasonable.
Like I said, the standard is about $100 per yard.
The other thing that we could do,
In these yards too, you gotta realize it's tall, you don't know, we're gonna lose a blade or what.
You don't know
We're gonna
what's
acquire
in
damages.
there.
Well, and like I said, by the time they
Yeah.
get that tall, you're at least having to mow it twice.
And you can
It's like they
also,
don't pay.
That's true.
it's, I mean, I think our height is 12 inches.
Yes.
Like I said, by the time you get that tall, you're gonna have to go over it twice.
At least, yeah.
spray poison.
We can't do
Another
that.
option that I thought about, we could hire somebody locally to do it, and they charge us, and we just
And
pay
then,
them.
yeah, pay them out of it if we don't have the time. to
They
make
bill
the staff
us,
to
they
do
bill
it,
us, we pay them,
and
then we turn that into
yeah. Right,
the.
so the cost
lien.
would still be going to,
And
The
if you guys
property
do that, I have a couple of companies I can recommend to you
I was gonna say, there are
Yeah.
a couple local,
that have bought out my contracts from when I got out of it.
right.
So,
Julie said fine,
you can find them too.
the charging for the mowing and fine them.
Yeah, if you,
Yeah,
well, the one person I can't find,
well, we run into that being
yeah,
an
he's,
issue,
he's
yes,
no
because
longer
they're
with us.
deceased
I mean,
property owners.
it's not just the house, he's not here on earth. Well, he might be.
Deceased property owners.
You want to
Well, I
farm it
think
out, or do you want to just set a right charge?
Farm it out, you mean get to another company to come do
Yeah,
it?
where we would pay them, or we pay our guys.
That way the strain's not on the maintenance department to try and keep up with
Yes.
unkept ones as well. They already have a lot.
And that's promoting other
Somebody
businesses.
may have, or may not have already mowed one of them.
Well,
Well, then you're gonna
Just
pay,
saying.
we're gonna be paying out to these people to do the mowing. And then you're gonna
right,
recoup that when,
it's paid out. from a lien.
And one of the properties, who knows when that might be. The one property is on a lien right now,
Right.
a tax lien,
Correct.
and I know that in September, October, that'll have to be paid out.
Right.
The other property, I have no clue.
Farm it out.
So it's been purchased already at last year's tax sale?
Yes,